GoFundMe Press with Rancor takes day. Jose Chile de Castro's fundraiser for Garrett Press with Rancor dominated Friday's GoFundMe take with $1,530 in new donations from a late evening fundraiser, with de Castro promising to match the funds from his own personal bank account. As we're looking at his win over in its own article, we're going to be focusing on our own second place win and some changes associated with the production of the newspaper and daily newscast. Our fund took in $200 for the second place win, not to take anything from de Castro's great victory or to overinflate what went on with our own win yesterday. It was from a donor making an easier donation to our GoFundMe rather than figuring out exactly what we needed for flea treatment of the cats off of our animal-related Amazon registry. We'll probably be taking in more donations like that, so it's not reflective of the overall health of our campaign, as we had another large donation earlier in the week for a targeted donation with a specific purpose. As always, you'll see receipts over on our Discord server in the dedicated receipts channel. Right now, the receipt for the flea treatment is up, along with some of the purchases we've made with the donation from earlier in the week. We're looking into moving as many of our ongoing expenses into yearly expenses and getting them out of the way for the next year as more donations come in. Then we'll be focusing on expanding our purchases to one more big item for the fall. News forthcoming. Please know that this is a huge change, as my life is currently on display to everyone. While incidental purchases aren't accounted for, occasional fast food meals, buying a $5 movie off of Fandango at home, etc., showing the work and where the donations are going to is pretty much a requirement based on the actions of the person who ran our previous home. While we weren't involved in his activities, it is important to be as transparent and boring as possible with transactions so there's no question as to where the money is going as donations are made. There's more news we'll sneak in here, as the column is more often hijacked for everything but the focus of the article anyway. De Castro threw us off this morning as he actually had things to say in his 3-hour live stream. Starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, or right when we needed to go to bed to be up for 3 a.m., he went on for 90 minutes of semi-meaningful news in between his babble about donations. This, of course, killed us at 3 a.m. Do you know how hard it is to be up that early and then having to sit through Chile de Castro's babble? I know it's our job, but mornings like this sidetrack everything. I know, it's awful that I must watch the actual source before doing the article. But seriously, late in the evening news kills our workflow and kills the chances of getting the news out before noon on most days. It's also a change that is playing havoc with our scheduling, and I apologize for it. I signed up to do a newspaper. Everything else sort of morphed out of that, and I'm trying to get into a regular release pattern for fans of the old paper and our new YouTube presence. With the change from putting out a daily newspaper to doing a daily newspaper and a daily newscast in widescreen format, then a watch-along party in vertical format, and needing to fall over dead asleep at 6 a.m., it's certainly a change. In the past, I could get away with writing 2 or 3 pages total for the newspaper and be done with it. Now 2 pages means 3.5 to 4 minutes of airtime. We average between 14 and 17 minutes per newscast, so our page count comes in between 6 and 8 pages a day, depending on how fast I read everything. That doubling to quadrupling written content to feed the newscast is what's killing the early morning paper, and again I apologize for it. Trying to shuffle the hours in the day to figure out how I can do everything, as I can't afford help, and I know I'm too much of a control freak to work with everyone. Adding Verbo to the newscast watch party has helped, and quietly giving the all-star panels over to the panel to dominate is also helping a bit. It's out of necessity, and it's a lot of fun to see who's stepping up and running the shows as I push play on the videos in the background. I may just shift focus to the overnight hours and start production and go all night again. I need to do something to change things so those who love the paper in the morning aren't forgotten. That's important to me, and I'll work out a plan to make sure things are course corrected as I move forward. On that note, if you'd like to step up for a missing in action hate watcher, Hey, hope you're okay, you bastard. In forcing us to continue to write this column each morning, we do have a GoFundMe of our own. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org.